by so fast. Hi, Leah. Hello, how are you? Curated by Tabella, Christine, Auntie Barbie, Claudia. Good morning. Two Texas girls, thank you for sharing the show. HJC, good morning. Welcome in. Nietzsche, good morning. Roxy's Treasures, good morning. How are you? Hey, Vintage, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? ADW, good morning. Welcome in. Beck, hello. Hello, Australia. Beck is in the house. Hello, hello. It's good to see you. Good morning. Welcome in. Tammy, good morning. How are you? It's probably like, is it 1 a.m. where you are right now, Beck? Who else? Jules, hello. Shali, or did I say that right? Or Shaylee. Good morning. 2:30 in the morning. Oh, good morning, Beck. It's literally a very good morning for you. Dave from Alberta, thank you so much. Alyssa, welcome in. Peacock, hello. Jules, I said hi to. Angela Marr, hello. Tammy Ab, I don't know if I said hello to you, but good morning, just in case. Good morning, everybody. All right, let me just pin my free resources because that sends out a bat signal. So if you're wondering why I do this, so if you if you go to my auction tab and you look at this first one here, which is probably not the first one in order. Oh, it is actually. If you go and just click on that little bell button up in the corner, then anytime that I pin this, you will get notified. So you'll know that I'm doing a chat show and talking about things. So this is sort of like, these are my free resources. So you'll always be able to find it. Good morning, Deals on Styles and Canada Rocks and Late Nights with Lyric. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. So this way it will give you a notification when I go live. So for for community shows. And Peacock is here for the bad advice. Awesome. I've got lots of bad advice for you. I got lots of bad advice. Shop Redeal, good morning. How are you? So feel free to ask your questions and share your shows. The only thing that I ask is that if it's a question, put a question mark on it so I'll be able to see it easier in the chat because it turns yellow, and also I can sort by question. I can just sort the questions. So what I usually do is we have the topic time, and then I open it up to general questions. Good morning, Olive. Good morning, Marika. Okay, so today we're talking about something that I think is really important, especially for new sellers on Whatnot. Thank you. Yes, that the yellow text matches my glasses. And AHJC has your second show at 10:15 this morning. Awesome. Awesome. What 10:15 Pacific? Good morning to Montreal Chicks. Hi, Sweet Prairie. Good morning, everybody. Oh, thank you, Loki, for the ball. I appreciate you. All right. Loki's PST. Okay, so 3 hours from now, because it's 10:23 here, so about 3 hours from now. Lynn, good morning. How are you? Okay, so again, you feel free to ask your questions. I'm going to do this segment, which is the topic part, and then we'll do question and answer period afterwards. So I will try to get to everybody's questions as I go along. They're currently, yes, Canada Rocks, as far as I know, there is still 0% commission for women's fashion. Women's fashion. It just has to be under any of the subcategories of women's fashion. And thank you so much to Thrifting with ADHD for modding, as well as Dave from Alberta for modding. Make sure that you follow my wonderful mods, everybody. Dodger, good morning. And Cyril, good morning. Okay, so today we're talking about something really important for the Canadian Whatnot community and in general, whether you're in Canada or the US or Australia or wherever, this is important information. The topic today is avoiding bad advice on Whatnot. Now, I want to be very clear about this from the start. I don't want anyone to think that this is a show about attacking people. It is not. What this is about protecting new sellers and helping our community grow in a healthy way. Okay? Because Whatnot Canada is still growing, and it's growing fast. And we can we can harm the community's growth with bad advice. And honestly, I love the fact that there's a lot more chat shows that are popping up. Beck is going to be doing one in Australia, and we've got some really fun shows. I don't get to see the exact growth numbers to Montreal Chicks, but I I I'm always checking in to see how many shows are in Canada and the different categories, and it keeps growing. So that's my growth. That's where I see the growth. Loki, come here, baby. Thank you. So it's a really good sign, and I want people to help. I can't be the only chat show in Canada, and once Beck gets going in Australia, she's not going to be to want to be the only chat show in Australia. Um, People do want to help, and people do want to share knowledge. But there's something important that comes with that. There is a responsibility when you give advice publicly. This is not just sort of a fun thing that I do. I take these shows very seriously. I try to make sure that I am giving you the most accurate information in a positive way. If there's negativity to be talked about, we talk about what the bad thing is and how to fix it. We don't just speak about the negativity and scare away new sellers before they've even had a chance to see the magic happen. So there is a responsibility in us doing these chat shows that we have to provide a quality experience because we're part of the growth of Whatnot. One piece of incorrect information can scare away potential sellers. It can confuse new sellers. Good morning, I said groovy. It can create fear where there shouldn't be fear, or it can slow the growth of the entire community. And trust me, I get messages every week from sellers telling me about advice they've heard on a Whatnot chat show or on Facebook, or on Reddit or on IG, et cetera, that is incorrect information or is shining a negative and scary light on selling on Whatnot that isn't actually based in fact. So today we're going to talk about as a seller, as a potential seller, how to avoid bad advice, how to evaluate advice that you hear, and how to find the right information. Okay, are we all good with that? Um, Something false on Reddit. I know, Dave. I know, shocking. And something false on Facebook, also shocking. So first of all, let's put a big, like, if I could have a title across here right now, if I had this set up on OBS, there'd be a big title that would come across the screen that would say nobody knows everything, like the more you know thing, that nobody knows everything. One of the biggest lessons experienced sellers eventually learn, especially the top sellers, is nobody knows everything about Whatnot. Not me, not any of you, not any single seller, even Whatnot staff. I can tell you, in chatting with Whatnot staff, they don't know about all the amazing features there are. Not any single chat show host is going to have all the information. This platform is constantly evolving. There are new tools constantly, new features, new policies. I spend a lot of time each week reading Whatnot's Help Center, answering questions in private. I spend a lot of time making sure that I have accurate information to share with you. That takes time and effort. It's not just as simple as go live and have a little chat. Things change all the time, and sometimes the best answer that a community host can give you is simply, I'm not sure, let me check and get back to you. And I will do that. I will say, I'm not sure. Oftentimes I will say, I'm not sure, let's right now go to help.whatnot.com and find out the answer. And yeah, is it a little boring watching me type it all in and everything else, but we find the answer out together, and I show you how to do that. This isn't by saying I'm not sure, by saying I don't have all the information, I don't consider that to be a weakness. In fact, I consider it to be a strength and a sign of good leadership, because accuracy matters more than ego. if you see a community chat show where it feels more like an ego show, or it's their way to try and promote themselves, that's not a community chat show. That's just a chat show. That's a chat, not for the community. It's about them. So um, make sure that you remind yourself that nobody knows everything, and to always, section 2 is always check the source. Insert title here. There's something that I encourage every seller to do, new sellers and experienced sellers. Whenever you hear advice in a chat show, even if it's me, okay, even if it's me, take a second and check the source. Look at the seller's profile, okay? Look at the seller's profile and ask yourself, how much experience do they actually have selling on Whatnot? Maybe they've sold on other platforms, and so they have experience in selling that they can share with you, strategies and that sort of thing that are general about selling, how to do listings, because they've done a ton of listings on Etsy and Poshmark. That's valuable information. But if they're telling you about systems within Whatnot, features in Whatnot, how to Whatnot, then and but they haven't sold a lot on Whatnot, are they actually going to be able to give you advice that you can count on? You should always check yourself. How many items have they sold? How much experience do they have? Now, let me be extremely clear. This is not about shaming anyone. Everyone starts somewhere. But if someone is sold under a few hundred items, their experience with the platform is still very limited. That's just the reality. That doesn't mean they can't share their experiences, but it does mean you should take that advice with a grain of salt, because experience does matter. I didn't start doing chat shows until it was actually almost 1 year of me selling before I started doing chat shows. And I was already at my 1,000 sales, or pretty close to it. It's always smart, no matter who you're getting the information from, that you verify before acting on it, especially if it's related to the systems on Whatnot and the features on Whatnot. You want to make sure that before you do something that sounds like a really great idea, or before you believe somebody who tries to scare you away because of shipping adjustments, or um, uh, it's going to be too hard for you to sell into the US and that sort of thing. Check first to see. Yes, even experienced Whatnot sellers are spewing misinformation. Absolutely. So, where can you find accurate information? If you want the most reliable information about Whatnot rules or policies, hey Kay, hi Auntie Barbie, start here. Help.whatnot.com. Leah or Dave, can you pin that in? Help.whatnot.com. Um, that's the official help center for Whatnot. Almost any question you have is going to be answered there. However, this is what I will say. If you go to help.whatnot.com and it doesn't seem to make sense to you, then come into my shows and ask me about it. I'm okay. I understand that not everybody learns the same way, and that some people need to hear it, ask their question, hear my answer, ask back, in order to be able to learn. Okay, I will get to that. I will talk about that afterwards. So the help.whatnot.com, thank you Dave, thank you Leah, is where that's where the platform guidelines and policies live, and how to like do the step by step. There's step by step instructions on just about anything. But again, if that's not a way that you learn easily, if it still is confusing to you, come into one of my shows and ask questions, and I will try to walk you through it. You can also learn by attending experienced seller chat shows, with the caveat that you need to make sure that they're providing correct information, asking questions, watching how successful sellers operate, and messaging sellers privately if you have questions. I'm okay if you don't feel like you want to come into one of my chat shows, or you can't wait, because I only do them on Friday and Saturday now. I used to do them 7 days a week. Send me a DM and I will try to answer as much as I can. Sometimes it's going to take a day or so before I get back to you because I'm a little busy, but I will try to get you the information you need. And honestly, if you ever have a question, you're welcome to send me a message. I will try to answer it. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to say I don't know. Here's where you could probably find the answer, or I will try to find the answer for you. So, and we will learn together how to find the answer. Not section 4, next section. Be careful about paid advice. Now, this isn't a Canadian thing yet, but I'm sure someone's going to try and come up with this at some point. Oh, yeah, Leah, that's one of my sections. I will talk about that. Another thing I want new sellers to be cautious of is paid advice, paid programs on whatnot. If someone says, pay me, and please note, it does say down below $2,026, that's just the year 2026. My free resources are free. My chat shows are free. Pay me. If someone says to you, pay me and I'll tell you all the secrets to whatnot success, be careful. Now, I'm not saying every course out there is bad. Some courses are very good. There are a lot of people selling the idea, and some of them are very experienced. They're experienced sellers in that they've sold a lot on whatnot. But you need to Google them and see if there are any commentary online about them that might put up a red flag for you. Okay, that's all I will say. Um, I'm not saying there are other people selling the idea that there are hidden secrets to selling on the platform. And the real truth is that most of the important information is available for free. If you want to learn about the algorithm, I've got a show that I did that's on my YouTube where I talk about how discoverability works. As a general, I don't have this, no one has a secret sauce except for a few of the engineers at Whatnot. That's it. No one else has a secret sauce, and the secret sauce changes all the time. So that algorithm, somebody somebody will go and say, "Oh, I know the algorithm. I know what it is." Well, next week it's going to change, Tanya, honey. There's no way. If Are they going to update their guide to algorithm secrets on Whatnot? A lot of this information is available for free. People like The Archivist and the Hodgepodge Place and myself have YouTube channels. Blazing Bunny has a YouTube channel where you can get a lot of very good information. So, most of the important knowledge is free. You don't need to pay for it. Whether you're in Canada, the States, Australia, England, wherever, you don't need to pay for it. In fact, they're just regurgitating. A lot of times they're regurgitating via AI. They've asked AI to create me an algorithm hack um, course for people on Whatnot. And the AI spits something out and they don't even bother to read it and see if it's actually true. So you're going to learn more from experience, conversation with other sellers, going into other seller shows, going into community chat shows, and learning from other people, experimentation, and the help center. There is no really magic formula. Every seller is different. Every seller has different inventory. Every seller has different styles of selling. And there's no one way to Whatnot. There's about 50 million ways now to Whatnot. So the real secret is something far less exciting and not something that you can buy. It's consistency, showing up, learning, improving. That's what works. So section 5. Loki, come here. That's it. Get your toy. Get a toy. Behind you. Get a toy. No. Right. Please hold. Trial and error, hard work, and being open to learning. Absolutely, Vintan. Absolutely. And I think the important thing is if somebody wants to do a community show in Canada, make sure that the information you're providing is correct. That it is, and that you are not having a negative focus that scares people away from selling on Whatnot. Bambalanda mentioned this yesterday in our seller chat, and she was in a show that I was in where people were getting scared away because the talk made it seem like it was impossible to sell on Whatnot without having extra expenses, which is not true. So section 5, the trick or hack warning. So here's another one that I hear all the time, especially on Facebook, and that is, I've discovered a trick or a hack that you can use on Whatnot. A seller trick or hack. I hear it all the time. Because it's called a hack or a trick, it probably means someone has found a way to bend the rules. And I can promise you that if you try to bend the rules, Whatnot will update the rules to make it crystal clear that you're not supposed to do that. So, example, there's shipping rules that exist for a reason. Um, but some sellers try to game the system, and that can create problems for buyers, especially in the States now. There's been a lot of buyers who are complaining because the um, the sellers aren't actually weighing and measuring their boxes and just shipping stuff out without doing the label properly. And then what happens is the buyer gets a bill for postage due from USPS. And that could happen in Canada too eventually. Loki. So it can also create problems for sellers. Obviously, uh, if you're trying to hack the system and it's actually against or is in a gray area of the terms of service, as soon as they update the terms of service and eliminate that gray area, if you don't know that they updated that and you get reported, you could lose your whole account. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Um, and also it creates a problem for the platform itself. If we all abuse shipping adjustments, for example, or if we all start if sellers are still using the use local pickup and then I'll ship it to you by letter mail, that's abusing the buyer protection program. And people will, yeah, as Canadian Bread Cafe says, it just takes one apple to spoil it for the bunch. People will complain, and Whatnot will say, well, we can't do anything about it because you gave the pickup code and said, so as far as we know, you got it. We didn't know that you were doing a side deal. And so if they don't get their stuff, or if their stuff comes damaged or not as they expected, they have the buyer has no recourse. The seller's got their money, and Whatnot looks bad in the eyes of that buyer, which spreads. Remember that people don't often share, I had a great experience at this place, right? You see negative reviews more than you see positive reviews for most places. Most of us don't go to Google reviews to review something unless it was really bad. It either has to be really really good or really really bad. So it's really important that we remember that this damages not just the seller's reputation, but Whatnot's reputation as a whole, and that could damage the growth of Whatnot Canada just when we're getting started. Um, so if someone says, "I found a hack," or "I found," uh, I'm protected as well. Yeah, PB and J. I found a hack, or I found a trick, and this is what you should do. This is a hack or a trick for Whatnot. Slow down and verify that information before changing your systems on Whatnot. Make sure that it's accurate. Okay, now, um, uh, section 6. Insert title here. The AI warning. So as Leah pointed out earlier, she sometimes goes to ChatGPT and asks ChatGPT the question, and ChatGPT will spit out an answer after it reads through help.whatnot.com and Seller Academy, etc. But I have found that little robot makes assumptions. And I've also found that if you just Google and it goes to that AI mode and it gives you an AI answer first, that AI answer can also be incorrect. For example, if you ask AI if you can choose which countries you can sell to on Whatnot, it will come up and say, yep, absolutely, absolutely. You can choose. You can say you're not going to ship to, you can say you're only going to ship to Canada. It has that. It's answered that many times. Um, and the reality is that that's not true. And I've had to argue with the robot because I was talking with the robot about something else, and all of a sudden it said this, and I was like, that's not true. What are you talking about? And then I went on to Google and I Googled the question, and Google came up with the wrong answer too. And it was because Lainey, yeah, absolutely. After I finish this section, we'll go to questions for sure. Uh, the I asked Google, and Google also gave me the wrong answer. So I asked the robot, why are you giving me the wrong answer? And it said, well, I couldn't find anything explicitly in the help.whatnot.com that said otherwise. So I filled in the blanks based on other platforms that let you pick and choose which countries you're going to sell into, and made an assumption. So ChatGPT kind of works like human beings, right? We make this quick assumptions without verifying the facts. So when you see, when you're going to use an AI tool, make sure that you, if it says, in fact, hey, come here. In fact, ChatGPT actually gave me a link, said, here's, yes, you can do it. Absolutely. You can turn off which countries you don't want to ship to. And it gave me a link. And I clicked on the link and it went to help.whatnot.com article about international shipping and selling. And it said absolutely nothing about that. So, um, I said, yeah, okay. So make sure that if Chappy GPT or any of the other robots give you an answer, ask them for their actual source, click on that source and read it for yourself. Um, so they fill in the info. Yeah, I talked about that. Okay. So AI can sound really confident. It sounds really confident about what it's saying while still being very incorrect. So if you ask an AI tool a question about whatnot policies, always double check the answer. Go to the help center at help.whatnot.com, verify the information. Don't assume the AI answer is automatically correct because they make assumptions. All right, section 7. Bad advice on the internet. Um, so if you spend enough time in reseller groups online or in random chat shows, you'll start to hear some very interesting advice. So let's look at some of the classic examples of bad advice flowing around the internet. And if you have suggestions on bad advice that you've heard, feel free to mention it. Don't mention who you got it from, but just mention the bad advice in the chat, and I will add it to this list. So this is my list, and then I'll add your stuff too. The $1 start everything guru. Just start everything at $1 and the chat will take care of the rest. The reality is, if you're a new seller and you've got 8 viewers, you're about to sell those 8 viewers $1 items. You're about to make 30 cents if you're lucky. The chat, the viewers are not taking care of anything. They're watching you lose money. Okay, and then there's the other one, the algorithm whisperer, the person who says, I know the whatnot algorithm and I will teach you how. Even experienced sellers don't fully understand the algorithm. If somebody tells you that this is it, this is exactly what to do, platforms constantly adjust. Discoverability changes all the time as Whatnot tweaks and learns about what works best to attract buyers to shows that are going to make money. Because Whatnot's purpose isn't just to kind of be a free service for us, right? Where they only charge us 8% commission. They need to eventually turn a profit here. You do understand that Whatnot is a billions of dollars a year, but they're still at the stage, that's gross sales, but they're still at the stage where they're spending more than they're making, which is why they keep getting angel investors, and they're up to, I think, E. It's worth the investment. It's totally, if I got a chance to invest in Whatnot, I totally would, because this, give this another 2 or 3 years and it's going to explode. So platforms constantly adjust discoverability, the categories, the engagement signals, viewer behavior. Anyone claiming total knowledge should raise an eyeball. Hey Melody, you're good. The shipping hack guy or gal. I've discovered a shipping hack. We talked about it before, but here's your translation. You are about to violate terms of service. Check and double check the information. Overnight success story. How many times have you seen on Facebook groups where somebody posts, look at me, I just sold $85,000 worth of stuff yesterday in my show. You can do it too. Maybe they did. Maybe they made $10,000 in their first month. But comparison is a thief of joy, okay? Maybe they also have a huge following already. Maybe they have years of reseller experience and brought all of those customers over to Whatnot. They have a warehouse full of inventory and you're just trying to do this out of your garage or in your basement or the spare room or a corner of the dining room table. Your journey is going to look very different And that's normal, and there's nothing wrong with starting where you are and working yourself up to $10,000. There's also the equipment expert. Um, the equipment expert who says you need $2,000 worth of equipment or more. You need this kind of camera, and you need this kind of computer, and you need this kind of microphone, and you need to have this kind of lighting to start. Most successful sellers on Whatnot started with a phone, Wi-Fi signal, or some sort of cellular data signal, decent lighting, a table, a pen and paper, a printer to print their labels when they're done, and a scale, and that's all you really need. Um, you have a rigged. I mean, I've used a phone stand is a good thing. A ruler's a good thing, or measuring tape. Vintigrity says I will show my new rigged phone stand after mine broke. I mean, there were a few chat shows that I did where you guys were sitting inside a cup, and then another time you were like I will put you up against books and stuff to hold you in place when necessary. Um, Buyers care far more about trust and personality than they do about fancy cameras. And then there's the paid secret seller. Buy my course and I'll tell you all the secrets and you will make millions of dollars just like me. Those secrets are usually just consistency, sourcing well, and learning your audience, which is stuff you can learn for free. There are so many free places like What Liz Likes, hi Liz, where you can find out information for free. And then there's also the negativity person. The negativity person. And I see this, I don't see it as much anymore because I pretty much, anytime I see it on any of the Canadian Facebook groups, I say, excuse me, there's Premier Shop people in Canada. That's not true, that nobody can succeed in Whatnot Canada, because there are people who are succeeding very well. Thank you very much. If they say nobody is making money on Whatnot, Whatnot sucks, Whatnot doesn't work. People say this every year, and usually I see this posted right after or right before someone does a huge show and goes from and gets their Premier Shop in Canada. That's when I usually see it. Is when I've seen, oh look, one of my friends has got Premier Shop now. So anyways, that was a little bit of fun. Let's see what else everyone else has to say, and I will yeah, I do not provide financial advice because my financial advice is go buy more. Go thrifting. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking the camera. Camber Cafe says, start with what you have and upgrade over time. That's what I do, still working on my setup. Yes, absolutely. Melody says, you also don't know the loss that that person took to their inventory when they say they made 10K. Yeah, they could have grossed $10,000 in that show, but they spent not, $9,000. I don't, that's not my idea. It's a success. Vintam says you use furniture too still, and oh good. Okay, you remember my cup stand? All right. 13 with ADHD says I've done 3 shows and I've decided Whatnot sucks. Yes. That's something that I see a lot. Is I did a show on Whatnot and nobody came in and nobody bought, so I'm giving up. And it's like, I have a phrase: don't give up before the magic happens. You need to give this time. This is not an overnight success story. Canadian Brick Cafe says I use the Whatnot marketplace more than I do shows. That's brilliant. And Auntie Barbie says, just like the gambler who wins a jackpot, how much did they put in prior? Yeah. How much did you spend in order to get that jackpot? Absolutely. I always joke when I get a lottery tickets and I win like $5, it's like, woo, I got some of my money back that I just spent. Yeah, and 13 with ADHD says you see that all the time on YouTube videos. They claim they made $85,000 in sales, but it's like half of that once you minus expenses. Absolutely. Beck says some Aussie sellers are buying sale designer items and are either breaking even or making small margins, not sustainable. No, absolutely not. I mean, you're closer to Japan, so you can get into that Japan auction market easier because shipping is cheaper, I assume, from Japan than it would be all the way to us. But Lainey, no, sorry, I haven't got there yet. I'm almost done this section and then I will answer questions. So you're good. Okay, so next section, red flag advice detector. So we're going to play a little game. Here's some phrases that I'm going to say, and you put in the chat whether it's a red flag or a green flag. So, first one, I know the algorithm. Red flag or green flag? We got red, red, red. Yeah, absolutely. So red flag, if they say they know the algorithm, they do know. There's only a very few people that know the algorithm, and they are legally bound to not say a single word. Okay, they can't share that information. The engineers are not allowed to share that with us. So if someone says I know it, they don't, because someone is about to get fired if they actually did know it. Yeah, the only ones who know it are the ones who've programmed it. Absolutely, and it changes all the time. So another one is you should start everything at $1. Only do $1 starts. It's the only way to be successful on Whatnot. Big red flags. Everybody says big red flags. Absolutely, red flag, red flag. Someone says that you can do Whatnot. It just takes time to build. Green flag or red flag? You can do Whatnot. Just takes time to build. Yes, green flag. Green flag. I know. I'm making these really hard. Red, another one. Is this a red flag or a green flag? Everyone should sell this way. This is the only way you can sell on Whatnot. Red flag, absolutely. And that's it. That's it. That's enough. I got enough here. We're good. What Liz like says, I've been doing $1 starts and I'll be changing up this month for reasons. Yeah. I mean, Liz, you've got great numbers in your shows. You got really great numbers. That was a great way for you to rebuild your selling for you in the States, because there's a little bit less risk because your shipping isn't as expensive as ours. So you're 2.9%. At least you're getting a little bit. For us, the average is about, $15 Canadian. So that adds up really fast. Loki, get down. Go see daddy. Yeah. No, go see daddy. Don't. You're making adjustments. Yeah, I've noticed it. I haven't been able to jump in, but I have noticed it does work. Dave from Alberta, thank you for the tip. You didn't need to do that. Everyone, please follow Dave from Alberta. You are awesome. Okay, so what's you're really Willow is wondering where Loki is. He's insane. He's just insane. Okay, so well, I'm going to share you one. Oh, thank you, Leah. You didn't have to do that. Everyone, please follow Thrifting with ADHD as well. You're so sweet. Thank you. $1 PFS Collectible says $1 starts to get to your 1K items if you buy the items right or in bulk. That is a possibility, PFS Collectibles. But here is what I will say. If you focus on getting to 1K sales and you're selling stuff that's of a value where you're not going to lose money at $1, are you building a business where people are going to come back to you after you've made 1K sales and see quality items? Just make sure that you are not building an expectation of dollar store stuff. Make sure that if you put it in the mix. But here's what I will also say: 1K sales is great because you get instant payout, but if you take it one step at a time and be consistent with your shows, you're going to get there quicker by being consistent. You're going to get to 1K sales by just being consistent in your shows without having to fill it with a bunch of $1 stickers and stuff like that. But also, if you're consistent, you're going to have a constant paycheck that you can pull out every 2 weeks, like a paycheck you can pull out, or if you live in the States, every week. I don't know. You know what I mean? Every 2 weeks. Yeah. So It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. There is no one way to do whatnot. So if you want to do that, for sure. I would also say, if somebody comes into your show and asks you to create a bundle for them instead of running it at $1, don't think. I heard people say this in the past to and luckily I haven't heard it a lot lately, but people would say, "Oh no, I'm trying to get to 1,000 sales, so I'm not going to do that." And what Liz like says, $1 starts has helped me, but I think my consistent daily shows have done more. Yeah, it's just getting people used to you being back. Certainly $1 starts attract them in. Um, but if you start to see that it's not getting you the profit you need, then you need to change it. There's no one way to whatnot. Canadian Brick Cafe says it takes time to build a following. Good things come to those who wait. Good morning, Jeff. How are you? Um, and good morning to Recycling Dad as well. Um, Beck Halal from the wonderful Australia says, remember, a Whatnot show is a business and you're a brand. Set the tone for what you want your business to be and your customer base. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So real examples of bad advice. All right. Some of these are going to be repeats, but some people have come in. So um, here's some real world examples. These aren't about specific people, but if you know, you know. These are situations that happen all the time in the reseller communities, online, in chat shows. The shipping hack person who says they've got a shipping hack that supposedly makes shipping cheaper. I saw today on Facebook, someone said, hey, if you're an American seller, go to um, USPS and get those free bubble wrap envelopes, and you can use that as bubble wrap and save yourself on bubble wrap. That's freaking illegal. It's actually against the law. And I think with the way the states is going right now, you don't want to mess with the federal government, y'all. Don't do that. So I've seen people who say you don't have to bother to weigh and measure your items. You don't need to do that. Just print out your labels and it'll be fine. No, it will. It come back and bite you in the end. So the $1 start disaster, a seller heard that everything should be start at $1, but they only had 10 viewers, and item after item sold for $1, and after fees and supplies, they lost money. So make sure that your strategy matches your audience size. If you want to do a couple of $1 starts to kind of get the ball rolling, you can do some $1 starts whenever a raid comes in, etc. What Liz like says, I will say you're spot on about dollar store quality. $1 starts work if your product is all top quality. Everybody will buy stuff for $1, but if they only bid it up if it's good stuff. Yes, absolutely. And it's still a risk, because it may be an awesome piece and it may be worth money, but if it's not attractive to at least two people, then you're selling it for $1 to that one person who likes it, right? That is the major risk, especially in vintage decor, because it's one thing when it's like a shirt or something, like everyone can wear a shirt, but not everybody can wear a Fenton bell. At least I've tried. It doesn't stay on my head. The inventory trap. I've heard this one where a seller was told to buy a massive amount of inventory before they started selling on Whatnot. They spend thousands, but they haven't yet learned what their audience wanted, what sold well, what price points worked, and now they're stuck with inventory that doesn't move. The lesson is start small and learn. Vintage says, but also, are you new to Whatnot? Are the people in your room going to bid it up? Yes. If you don't have the room yet, you need to build up that room. And $1 starts also. So Bamboletta talked about this, and I talked about before in my pricing strategy show and a few other shows about buyer psychology. There is a psychology that we have as human beings, that if something is a low price, our brains go, this can't possibly be good value. So unless you are teaching as you sell and explaining why this is worth way more than $1, it is not going to excite as many bids. So you need to teach as you go, especially if you're selling something like vintage decor. Beck says a lot of Australian sellers are not even using the Whatnot labels on postage packages, but most don't include the Whatnot receipt in the package. Oh, interesting. I'm team packing slip. When I first started on Whatnot, Liz, do you remember this? When I first started on Whatnot, and Vintica, you remember this too, and Leah, you had to put in a packing slip. And then they changed it, and then they changed their mind because enough people said we don't want to stick the packing slip in. It's too many. We're printing too many labels. They are redesigning the packing slip, and it should be rolling out soon if it hasn't already. I've had early access to the new packing slip, and it is pretty. It's much nicer, and we as a community host group have been able to provide feedback on how to improve it, and some of that has been implemented, not all of it, but some of it. So that is I think you're gonna like the packing slips. They take up a lot less space. They don't use as many labels as the other ones. I mean, I've had it where it's like 25 labels because someone has oh good, you've got the new packing slip. Hi Jada Gypsy Queen. Yes, hello. All of this will be available on my YouTube channel, so you can rewatch this on my YouTube, my Facebook, and my Twitch. This is live on YouTube right now. Fintigway says, I'm team do not start anything at $1. It does a disservice to all sellers, especially because new sellers go to sellers who have the buyers. Yeah. Houston says, what do you do about low starts when friends price fix by not bidding against each other, so there's never an auction? Yeah, you cannot do much about friends not wanting to bid against each other. It happens. It happens. Like if I see one of my friends is really excited about something and really wants it, I may not bid. That's just the honest truth. But that's also auction psychology. So I'm an auctioneer. I'm a trained auctioneer. So that is also auction psychology in itself. It's the reason why live auction halls are set up the way they are. Is thank you, Mosins. Auction halls are set up the way they are so that you can't see the people, you can't see the faces of the people behind you. You're just staring frontwards so that you don't notice if someone else, this facial expressions of other people. Houston, so we have a lot more people now. We have a lot more people, so I think it has changed. It just takes time to build your audience. I would say not Genji, thank you for the raid. Oh, thank you so much. Loki, I was not that. Loki is saying thank you as well. He's actually breaking things trying to get at somebody, but thank you, Genji. Thank you for the raid. Genji, get down. You're gonna if you break my bow swear, I will murder you. Come here. Hey. Don't make me Christine Omu. Come here. You're gonna damage that bow swear one of these days. I have to move that bow swear. I was joking about killing him. I was joking. Oi, oi, oi. Loki. Sorry, yeah, it's important to start things at the lowest possible price that you can comfortably deal with. And now my husband is now finally taking care of Loki. Yeah, so as Vintage says, run items at the price that you're comfortable with, at the profit minimum you're happy with, remembering that you paid something for the item, unless it's been sitting in your inventory for years, and then sort of it's capital loss, right? And brain fart. Why do I brain fart all the time? You want to think about how much it costs you to buy that thing, how much of your time is going to be taken if you list that thing, and research it and clean it, et cetera, and then you've got to package it up. How much bubble wrap is it going to cost? How much, if you use poly mailers, those poly mailers are expensive, y'all. Like, clothing sellers have to use a lot of poly mailers, and they're expensive and they're hard to find. Oh, hi, Romeo. You're nice and quiet. You can come here and say hi. Come on. Oh, I love you too. Okay, thank you. I know he's been taken downstairs, so now you can come. Don't mind him. He was playing with his stick today, so he's a little. Stephanie Gal says, sometimes though I feel like if I don't sell things at a loss, nobody will buy. No, so no, don't do that, because it's just so, yeah, Stephanie, I understand. I've been there too, and to be honest, like I am a lower starts person, but I am slowly changing that. My prices are going up a little bit. I think we've all been there where it feels so, um it feels like you need to keep lowering your prices. But unless you're doing a clearance, if that's worth something, then just yes, PFS. Yes, I will try to get to all the questions after I finish this segment. I'm almost done. I know I said that before, but I'm almost there. So um here's another red flag. The instant expert. Someone runs 3 or 4 shows and suddenly decides they are ready to teach the entire platform. But real experience takes a lot of shows, a lot of shipments under your belt. Um, okay, so questions you should ask before taking advice from anyone. Ask yourself the fault before you follow anyone's advice online, whether it's in a chat show or anywhere else. Um, where is this information coming from? Does this match official guidelines? How experienced is the person giving this advice? Does this sound too good to be true? Can I verify this somewhere else? If you ask those 5 questions to yourself, you'll avoid the most incorrect advice and grow your business a lot faster. So I want this is a message to new sellers and those who are seeking out information is do your research, check your sources, ask questions, and remember it is okay to say, I don't know that yet. That's how we learn, that's how we improve, and that's how we're going to grow the Canadian Whatnot community together and the rest of the world, because we've got people from all over the world here right now. Millicent says, like a guy I knew who started a parenting podcast when his wife got pregnant for the first time. Yes. Yeah. I know my first husband became an instant fatherhood expert the minute I got pregnant. Um, if someone says they know the algorithm, if they have a shipping hack, if they want to sell you a course, congratulations, you have found the Bermuda Triangle of bad advice. Run now. Okay, so now I'm going to just scroll up to anything that had to do with that. And then I will get to the questions. What Liz like says for like not selling things at a low price, you are often better off donating items than selling them at a loss of money, time, and shipping supplies. Absolutely. Donate it, clear out your space, and move on to the next thing. You can always, remember, if you donate it to a thrift store, a lot of thrift stores will give you a coupon, and then you can use that coupon to buy some more good stuff to sell. That's thrift math. Vintage says, wait, it takes time. Your people will come and you will find your buyer. Something that no one wants today, 10 people might want a month from now. Absolutely. I'm going through boxes, and some of the boxes that I'm opening and selling on Whatnot are things that I tried at the beginning of selling on Whatnot 3 years ago. And now I'm like, oh, here it is. And suddenly it's selling, and it's selling decently. So I think it's important that you can't hold on to everything. At a certain point, you need to let go. My rule of thumb is if I don't think I can get $5 for it, it goes into it goes into like a clearance show that I might do where everything's like $2 starts. And then if it doesn't sell that way, it goes to the auction. Because I have, and I think this is the important thing too, is having multiple streams of income. Do not rely on just one platform, because platforms can change. So Whatnot is like the platform to be on, absolutely, but have other streams of income as well. That helps with your inventory flow. So you can Facebook Marketplace, a whole if you bought a bunch of teacups and you sold half of them on Whatnot and you got a bunch left over, why not bundle them, take some pictures, and put it on Facebook Marketplace for them to sell that way to somebody local for a little bit of money. Okay. In Canadian Brick Cafe says, watch other shows in your area of interest, learn how they do their shows. Yeah. But if they're a big seller, just remember that the big seller can start at super low prices. And those bids will go up because they've got a bigger audience. Don't compare yourself to that. Watch how they interact, watch the vibe, see if that vibe matches you. Take what you like, leave the rest, but always don't compare yourself to bigger sellers. Thank you, Sleek Styles. um Jaded Gypsy Queen said, a wired thing happened yesterday, algorithm wise. I started everything at $1. My daughter's stuff. Someone asked if I had video games. I said, I do at home. John went and got this PS3 console and games just sitting in the way forever. So the first two games went for $1. Third game, suddenly fighting by new people who entered the room. More gamers kept coming, bidding up to $15. Strange. No, not at all. Did you create a listing that said that literally said like video games? Like, was it in that category? Did you list it that way? Because that's probably why. um Canadian Brick Cafe says, don't give thrift stores literal garbage. Yeah, if it's garbage, throw it out. Canadian Brick Cafe works at thrift store, so knows. Hey, Forget Me Not Vintage. One thing I don't understand is Canadian sellers advertising absolutely no tariffs for US buyers. Yeah, that's right. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how they can possibly do that. Or Canadian sellers saying they have free shipping in their show title. They're getting you to, yeah, that one. It's not correct. We don't have that ability. So they're getting you to do local pickup, and then they're shipping it to you themselves by letter mail. PB&J, thank you so much for the tip. PB&J Trading. Everyone, please follow. Thank you so much, Jen. Okay. Sleek Sauce says, I was trying to do dollar starts on things I need to move. Canadian Bar Cafe, you are not lowbrow. Okay, let me get to the questions now. I'm going to scan up to the top. There's a lot of questions here. Canada Rocks. No, I've answered that one. Sorry, I'm getting there. Taxes. K Mind Your Ink asked about taxes. The information you need for your tax return to claim your income, please note that Whatnot collects HST and provincial or territorial sales tax on your behalf. So on they collect it, so you don't have to claim that. If you go to seller.whatnot.com and then you go to the financial section, you'll be able to download the 2025 report. It should be up there now. So you'll be able to, that'll show you all of your costs, like coupons, and any promote tools you've used, any shipping adjustments, that'll all be listed out as like a single line item. And you can also always download, every month you can download a report for your previous month's sales if you want to. Laney's Creations. Okay, sorry. Now we're getting to it. Can you please tell me how I can set up and offer the rewards program? So Laney's Creations, let me look at your profile for a second. 30 items sold. So you're not there yet. So you won't have that ability until you've sold $1,000 of gross sales, but keep going. Just keep selling. You're going to get there. In the meantime, before you qualify for a rewards program, in the meantime, you can create your own coupons. So you go to seller.whatnot.com and then you go to the marketing, go to the marketing section, and then you're going to click that little button. It's going to give a drop down menu and it's going to have coupons. You're going to click on coupons, and I recommend that you create 3 coupons that you have available in your shows. And then like once a week. So you have one coupon that you always have in all your shows, which is new buyer, a new buyer coupon. Call it whatever you want, but it's just for your new buyers. That gets them engaged and hooked. And then make sure you put all of these coupon codes in your show notes and say it out loud every once in a while. And if you have like a display that people are looking at when they're looking at your stuff, put a little piece of paper, print it out nicely. Don't scrawl it with crayon. I've seen it literally scrawled with crayon. It's not attractive. But put a little note that says, here's the coupon codes for today. And then make sure that you tell people how to use the coupon codes. Go to your wallet, click on your wallet, and then you can enter in the coupon code. So do a new buyer coupon, and then I recommend two other coupons um, that are that just kind of get that those sales flowing, and then you can just change that up. If you do multiple shows a week, then I would say every week those two coupons change to another name, like give them a new coupon name. So you can add as many coupons as you want. I'm at like 600 coupon codes. It's a bit insane, I know, but I was coupon queen for a while. I don't do that anymore because I have rewards club. So let's see, I hope that helps. And I'm sorry, I'm right now on the question section. I should look over here so I can see the chat part. Hang on. All right, it's not showing me the chat. Okay, hang on. Okay, I think we got there. Okay. Um, um, and Beck said, people think they have to do $1 starts to grow their following on whatnot in the Aussie space. I'm noticing I'm constantly having conversations. Yeah. So Beck, feel free to like copy any of the stuff that I have on my YouTube. If you want, I can send you my scripts. If you want to do that. D is in the house. Hi D. Mention in chat. Everyone follow my friend D Archivist. She has got lots of good information. PFS asked about international shipping. So let me just scroll down. International shipping from the US into Canada or into anywhere in the world. Let me just look at your profile for a second. View profile. Hopefully I don't end up leaving. You are in the US. Okay. So international shipping from the US is fairly simple. It's still going by USPS. And you shouldn't have any issues. The United States of America was one of the very few countries in the world that had a significant de minimis exemption like you guys did until August 29th of last year when the Sharpie marker came out and changed that. So the rest of the world, we're used to paying taxes, duties, and tariffs when necessary. Do we love it? No, we hate it. But we know that's what it is. So you can sell internationally, and I wouldn't worry about. I wouldn't discourage that. You got folks right now here from Australia and Canada who will buy. I will say that the shipping is more expensive from USA outside to Canada or anywhere else. It's a lot more expensive. So people are going to say the shipping's too expensive. Just it is what it is. It is what it is. Elvery Vintage says I sold to Lithuania yesterday. That is awesome. Yeah, Whatnot calculates everything for you. PS Collectibles. Whatnot calculates PFS Collectibles. Whatnot calculates it all and shows it to the buyer, and the buyer pays that shipping right then and there. The taxes, duties, and tariffs are paid by the buyer before they receive their item. That's a separate thing that gets done once the item reaches their country. A lot of okay. Melody asks, what do you think is better for a giveaway when people raid or okay, so what do you think is better when people raid, a giveaway or run $1 start for the raid? If you're a Canadian seller, because of the cost of shipping, I would say do $1 start. Or just say thank you. Just say thank you for the raid and sell. Don't stop to like gush and everything else. Just say, oh my God, thank you so much for the raid, Melody. That's so awesome. You could have picked anybody and you picked me. Okay, next up. I've got this book. I've already sold this to Nietzsche, so you can't have it. But I've got this book, and just keep going. I don't do $1 starts or giveaways when people raid in, to be honest. Unless it's like a huge freaking raid. Like when Hodge raids me, every once in a blue moon, I will do a giveaway, and I will do an international giveaway, and then I will run things. Yeah, and Amy, the girl that sells stuff, says, and say, please follow the raider. So thank you so much, Melody, for rating me. Everyone, please follow Melody and Bookmarker Shows. What I often do is I will mod you so you can make an announcement that will stick in the chat of when your next show is. And D Archivist says, I don't unless it's huge and I tag the raider. Yeah, and Vintiquity says, when you get a raid, run an item, just keep selling. Yeah, don't stop, just keep swimming and selling. Jada Gypsy Queen. I have a lot of glasses. These are one of my favorites. I have a lot of favorites. I've been wearing favorites a lot lately. I have a lot more glasses. I need to go back to the ones that I had when I did TikTok because they're kind of fun. They look like it's a filter, and I really like them. Sorry, I'm catching up. Okay, mind your inks, so I don't need to report it. Well, you report the income. You definitely report the income. They have to. So they don't automatically send like a T4 type slip to because you're a business. They don't send that to CRA. CRA gets reports from Stripe on the financial activity, your payouts and that, but they don't get a bet, like they don't get a what commission you paid or anything like that. They just CRA is tracking how much money is being transferred into your bank account, basically. But they're not that's not for tax purposes. That's to eliminate money laundering and fraud. So you need to make sure that there's a line on your regular tax form for Canadians. And I'm not a chartered accountant or anything. I just have filled in enough forms in my time. There's a line that asks you for self-employed income or business income, and that's where you put it. You would put the amount, the net, not your gross. Your gross is the big number, your net is the real number. And then also you don't put in the net from your whatnot report. You use that as your basis to figure out how much you spent in inventory and bubble wrap and mailing supplies and everything else. And if you have a cell phone data plan that you use and all that kind of stuff, you add all that in. That should be on like a spreadsheet or something that you keep. And the whatnot report is just part of that, but you don't submit that directly to the CRA. Rebecca says, you know what I do? So I would not be as nice as Kim. I'm not nice all the time. Forget Me Not Vintage says, anyone notice the algorithm got tweaked again? Main page used to show Canadian and US sellers. Now mine only shows Canadians in categories I've never went in. I've noticed that too. I'm seeing a lot more Canadians. This morning there was like only like two Canadians on in categories. I follow a lot of people, so I end up seeing all the categories, but that's very interesting. Melody says, I do notice that when I go into my followers, people who are on don't show up. So here's the thing. I talked about this when I talked about discoverability. You have to read the discoverability information to understand that it's like they don't say it blatantly. It's not blunt, but it's in there. And it's basically, if you are going against terms of service, if you're going against community guidelines, if you have if you have a slow show, if you don't have a lot of people in your room, or you have gone against community guidelines, you're going to be lower down. So you may not show up at all on the For You page. In fact, you can get shadow banned. So you're still able to sell on whatnot, but you aren't discoverable on the For You page. And so read discoverability. It's complicated, but yeah. So the one thing that I would suggest to teach the algorithm that you want to go into those people's shows is visit their profile, go to a few of their items and bookmark some of their items, bookmark their shows, and then the algorithm is going to say, oh, Melody likes Forget Me Not Vintage. So I'm going to make sure that I show Forget Me Not Vintage to Melody so she goes into that show. Amy, the girl that sells stuff about coupons, says, I find as a buyer, if there's a $3 off $10 coupon, it always gets me to buy the first item. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Again, she says, and Kim's advice, coupons instead of free giveaways is great. Coupons are also something you can use. Melody had asked about what if you get a raid. You can offer a coupon for your raid. You can have a thank you raiders coupon, or you don't just have some coupons already pre-made. Have a list beside you on a sticky note of here's a coupon in case I get raided. and and then and then you can use that to thank them. Say, thank you so much. Here's a coupon you can use in any of today's show or any of my future shows. That may bring them back again. Tell them to go and enter it in right away into their wallet, so that way it's saved the next time they come into your show. They won't have to forget it. Sleek Style asks, how do you do that? The mod post that stays in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to show you right now. See right, don't mind the screen. See right here, there's a slash. You only see that if you're a seller or the moderator. So you hit that slash, and then you're going to hit announce. And then you can type in, hello world. And you type in your message, and then you hit send, and it will stick for 30 seconds. But a mod does that, or the seller can do that. Fernand Mianov says, if you're registered as a business CRA, you have to give Whatnot business number to Whatnot so they can submit the taxes under your business. They submit the taxes under their business. That business number, they want that business number so that if you want to not pay taxes on items, as far as I know. But again, not an account. That's not my area of expertise. Definitely contact Whatnot support if you are registered already as a business. It's definitely considered a business income that you do need, if you made money, you do need to claim that money on your taxes. Elizabeth Oda is going to be talking about taxes on Fashion Friday in April. Okie dokie. Sweet. Okay. All right. Annie, I'm just going to scroll through the regular questions. Canadian Brick Cafe says, so easy that if I have anything listed, you can use coupon code The Red Rooster to save 10% on anything I have listed on Whatnot. There you go. If you want to save some money on Canadian Brick Cafe stuff, you type in The Red Rooster and you will, before checkout, and you will save 10%. Look at that. That is smart marketing there. That is smart marketing. Okay, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for helping answer that. Genji says, I learned that the first 5 minutes of a show is when Whatnot sends people in. So start hot and psyched. Start running immediately instead of telling your life story. Yes, don't wait. I mean, I usually will just kind of do a warm up and say hi to everybody. I'm bad at that, but don't say I'm just going to wait until more people come in. Part of the discoverability, part of the algorithm is active shows that are having bids and buys get more attention. So if you're just sitting there waiting to get attention, you're not going to get attention until you start actually running stuff. So run stuff, be an active show, engage with your chat, just keep selling, just keep going, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Leah. The Archivist says, don't be late or reschedule. It does make you not show up on the For You page. Yeah. Hey, Bullion, thank you so much. How are you doing? Ooh, look at that. Beck says, I purchased 5 items from Melody yesterday. It worked out to $39 Australian. Postage, weekly bundling turned on. I guess that's not bad. It still hurts. It still hurts me a little head, but it's not bad at all. I know that like buying from the UK here is not bad at all, relatively speaking. Yeah, the Archivist says, first 15 minutes, sell. And Canadian Brick Cafe says, be ready to start as soon as you go live. Absolutely. Stick to the schedule. Don't make people wait for you. Absolutely. Hey, Alex, how are you? Shipping over the pound is not cheap. Yeah, I did. I went into a Canadian show. I can't remember which day it was that we were chatting about this. Probably last week. Oh yeah, it was last week when I was talking about going international on Whatnot. I went into a Canadian show with my UK address because my in-laws live there, and I ship stuff to them sometimes. And it was like, for a t-shirt, it was about 14 pounds from Canada, which is not bad at all. Can you ask what not to, they're not going to remove the folder. I think it should be a tab. I think it should be a tab. They won't remove the folder because they're trying to reduce spam, but message requests as a tab instead would probably be a good solution that they can do. Because yeah, it's kind of hidden. Okay. Yeah, every once in a while, somebody who I don't follow and they don't follow me. Like, here's the secret: follow me before you message me, because that will definitely put you in my message request folder, and I don't check that every single hour of every single day. Oh, D Archivist says I'd love a shared show spam folder. Same, same. Oh my god, same. I'm. So here's the thing: sharing your shows as direct messages on Whatnot is not against terms of service unless you start being spammy. However, I'm going to tell you very clearly that most of us, if you don't say something else besides just sharing the show, I'm not even going to bookmark it. I'm not. I'm not going to even help by bookmarking it. Sorry, but tell me why. Interact with me more. So, the crazy bead lady, she shared her shows to me, and she would put, "This is what I hope you can make it. This is what I'm doing. Blah blah blah, etc. etc." Um, I don't know. I don't think it's an unpopular opinion at all, Leah. I think um, the I'm getting messages from people and they don't say, like, I don't even know who they are, and they're just sending me a show. Sometimes it's like it's a show in the States, and I'm like, are you just picking random people? Yeah, not even a hello. Like, hi, how are you doing? I hope you're well. Here, I have my show coming up. Please visit. If it's one of my friends who I know is like not feeling well or something and they just share the show, I get that. Also, if you tag somebody to come into a show, tell them, add to it why. So for example, if I saw little brass mini panther for that would fit perfectly in someone's printing tray, I would put in Leah's name, tag Leah, and then I would say cute brass panther mini, so that she sees the notification and she knows what it is that she's coming in for, because there's nothing more awkward than getting tagged and you feel like you need to come in because you got tagged, um and then you're like, what was it that you wanted me for? It's much better to like add a little bit to it. So yeah. And Fintiquity says memo me, send Leah my next 100 shows. All right, so we're all going to send Leah our shows now. Kidding, don't do it. Don't do it. She might block you. Just kidding. Okay, any more questions? I think I've gotten through all the questions, hopefully. And so are there any more questions? Because otherwise we'll find someone to raid. Um, oh, there you go. D Archivist is going to send all 290. Speaking of which, D Archivist, what are you up to now? How many shows have you done in a row now? Like 400 and something? It must be. Because, yeah, oh, D's DMs must be. Yes, absolutely, Linda. 646. D Archivist has been doing a show every single day for 646 days and counting. Every D of the week, D is on. So follow her, because if you want to talk about consistency, that's consistency. Oh, I'm glad you found me, PFS Collectibles. Was it on your For You page or did you find it in community? I'm always curious about that because I'm Canadian, so I don't think I get shown to Americans very much. Scrolling back up. Sweet Prairie asks, is it better to show your face or your hands? Well, it depends on what you sell. And then it depends on what you're comfortable with. So, if you're selling clothes, it is hard to just hold them up without showing your face. Because you could just keep covering your face and then, but if you're selling jewelry, any fine items where there's fine detail, you want to use your best camera, which is usually the other camera, not your selfie camera, this one. So I always switch back and forth. I tend to like to switch back and forth, especially since human beings are attracted to faces. And so if I'm about to grab the next thing, I don't want a blank screen in front of them where they're just looking at an empty box. where there's nothing really exciting going on. Not that I'm exciting to look at, but I switch it. So I do I my if it was an actual physical button, I would have worn it out by now. I'm glad it's like on the glass so I don't wear it out, but I switch back and forth all the time. It's also what you're comfortable with. If you don't want to be front facing, if you don't want to show your face, there are a lot of sellers on here who are extremely experienced, popular, and sell a lot, and they don't show their face ever. So it's totally up to you. The Crazy Bee Lady says, I'm coming back after 1 month off. Yay, welcome back. This Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, new brooches have been created, followed by many blowout sales. If you haven't been to a Crazy Bee Lady show, you need to go see her stuff. It's amazing. I love it. You can absolutely share your show once you start your show, even before clicking by clicking the share show button and sharing to social media, Discord, and IG chats. Yes, and we have a Discord for the unofficial Whatnot Canada Discord. Everybody's welcome in it. Let me pin that so that you can write down that link or just take a screenshot. It's also in the free resources that I just had up. It's there. So join our Discord because you can share your shows to that. The algorithm likes shows that have been shared, so the more you share the better it is. So if you want to go in and support somebody, and you can't afford to tip and you don't want to buy, or you can't afford to buy, why not share their show out to your social media, um, and help them out. It's free, it's easy. Engage in the chat, get chatty in the chat back and forth with them, make them feel less lonely if there's not a lot of people in the room. But also, if you're a new seller and you don't have a big chatty chat, don't think that that means that you're failing. A lot of people don't say anything because they're listening or they're watching while they're doing something else. So they don't always, they're not sitting there ready to type at any moment. Look, I use my thumbs. D Archivist says your best show is sharing your show with a link to Instagram. If you want to grow and biz on here, this is a must. Yes, Instagram and Facebook are your two best friends right now. You can also add some shorts to your TikTok. You can clip parts of your show, and then share that as well, to say, and make sure that you're constantly sharing. I'd say every 2 weeks or so, put on your social media. Again, this is a do as they say, not as they do thing, but share your referral codes to have people come to Whatnot. Bring your friends and family over to Whatnot because they're going to get a credit. They're going to get free credit, and you're going to get credit as well if they make a purchase. HiQ Gem says, I hit the button once by accident, the switch button. I don't like being on camera, so I usually show my beautiful crystals and gems only. Yeah, and that's what people are there for, right? HiQ Gems, like they're there for the crystals and gems. How you look doesn't matter as much as how the crystals look. I will say that if you're going to use your hands, make sure that you double check. I mean, I desperately need a manicure, but I haven't done that in a while. But you can Time Hop Treasures. What is it? Over a year and a half ago, I gave her some like stick-on nails for her to try out, and she's been using them ever since on her nails, and they make them look great. Moisturize too. Make sure you're moisturized. That's one of the things I always forget too. I'm so ashy. I'm like pale white, but somehow I'm also ashy. Okay, catching up. Thrifting with ADHD says, I also have a Whatnot Instagram chat where you can share shows and ask questions. Direct message her with your IG name, and she'll invite you into the Instagram chat, the Canadian Instagram chat. Sonia Five Speed says, I'm a one-man band, never had a mod. You don't necessarily need a mod, but you can always, that doesn't hurt to ask. So what Melody does often is she will say, is anyone available to mod for me? And if somebody says yes and she knows them, she will get them to mod. You don't necessarily need to have a mod. Yeah, they can help pin questions to make it easier for you to read. They can do a lot of things to help you out. But if you don't have that community yet, you don't absolutely need it. I mean, I didn't mod anyone for a long time. also I felt like I was imposing upon them. Now I just mod people. If you come in and I see you and I'm like, oh, I can trust that person. If poop hits the fan and we get some trolls in, I know Leah's going to take care of it. I know Dave from Alberta is going to take care of it. I know the people who are going to take care of things who've got my back, and that's the person you want to mod. Don't just mod anybody who offers, because they have the ability to make announcements that may be inappropriate. They have the ability to kick people out of your show, and they could be like bidders and they just decide that person bid against me and won, so I'm going to kick them out. You want to make sure it's somebody that you can trust. Canadian Brick Cafe says, I use my thermal printer to print QR codes that I put on all shipments. That's brilliant. Yes, like just a small little thing that says, here's my referral code, share it with other people to bring them in. I have a little QR code on my business cards. I've run out of business cards. I can't believe it. I've already 2 years in and I've run out of business cards. I waited a year before I got business cards, and now I've already run out of them. I ordered like 2,000, so it's crazy to think I've handed out that much. So I need to get new ones. Postal workers are buyers too, absolutely. Thrifting with ADHD says Facebook is severely underestimated, huge growth potential, and then you can multicast through Facebook. Yes, yeah, and you need to build your Facebook followers or subscribers or likers. I can't remember what it's called. And also on YouTube, you need to have a certain minimum number. So make sure that you post that on our Discord. We actually have a channel that is post your social media links so that we can follow each other on social media. I know those nails are so pretty, aren't they, Pickles? Sonia Five Speed, you're small fry now, but big fit, little fish in a big pond can grow to be a big fish too. Yeah, been on. Forget Me Not Vintage says, been on the app 4 years and never had a mod. There you go. See, and hang on. I'm just gonna shout you out. Forget Me Not Vintage has sold 4.6 thousand, so 4,600 items, has a 5-star rating, less than 1 day average shipping, 3,000 followers, and has sold 4.6K. So when someone says, how do I get more followers? You don't need followers in order to sell. She sold more items than she has followers. That's my goal for this year, is to surpass my follower count. My follower count keeps going up, and I'm trying to surpass my sales count so that it's above my follower count. Rachel is thrifty. Message thrifting with ADHD. And Dave from Alberta says, I've only had to kick 3 people in 2 years. Vinty Witty, that's not true. I just didn't. You came in late and I was in the middle of a sentence, so I forgot. Is it okay for a mod to bid? Oh, okay. Yes. Crazy Belay asked a good question. Is it okay for a mod to bid occasionally? Moderators don't only have those, powers to help you with trolls, and they can make announcements, but just because someone's a moderator does not mean that they are like a staff person. And so yes, they are absolutely allowed to bid on items. So I know that there are some people who have posted on Facebook and said, oh my god, like I went into a show and all the moderators were bidding on items to bid it up. Well, no, they're buying those items because they trust that person, and that person trusts the seller, trusts them, and they trust the seller, so they're buying items. So like Thrifting with ADHD has bought lots of stuff off me and usually has Maud beside her name, because I trust her. I know she'll have my back. So yes, mods can bid. The only time you cannot have bids is shill bidding, where say like my husband also has an account and he helps me. He doesn't, but if he did and had an account on Whatnot, hypothetical situation, and he started bidding on my stuff, well, that's him. That's my husband. Like, he's not actually wanting that stuff. It's already here. So it's already here. If he wanted it, he could just taken it away. For example, I had a really awesome chess set, and then he saw it. So now it's his awesome chess set. So yeah, that's when it's not allowed. Melody Cohn is working on YouTube for Fashion Friday, so please follow Melody. Sorry, who does this is a mom of, sorry. Oh, Forget Me Not Vintage. Yes, you are amazing, Forget Me Not Vintage. Um, a mom of four. You have to do what you have to do. Your babies are gonna only be babies for so long, and then you've still got Whatnot. You've already established yourself on Whatnot, so when you're ready to go back to more shows, then you can. Um, yes, I'm sure he is. Sorry, what did D say? I'm trying to catch up, everyone. Sorry. Um, Cranebrook Cafe. I have to have a great day. Thank you so much, Cranebrook Cafe. Do good things. Find some good stuff. Put it aside for yourself. Kidding. All right. So last call for any questions. Share your shows. If you're a seller, why don't you put out your emojis now so everybody can follow everybody else? I will start. I'll start it. Boop, 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 boop. Top loader, shut the front door. Thank you so much for the tip. You are awesome, top loader. Thank you so much. Everyone, please follow Top Loader Auctions. Thank you, thank you. There's deals on Style, AHJC, Peacock. Rachel is thrifty. Did I miss anything here? Stephanie has a 3.5, 3.5-year-old, and sometimes it's difficult. He will pop in while I'm doing a show, but I just try to roll with it. I have a 9-year-old dog who likes to cause trouble. And if you go to Canadian Bread Cafe and put in the code The Red Rooster, you'll save 10% on anything he has for sale on Whatnot. So there you go. There's Polka Dot Thrift Shop. What a great name. Shannon, Dave from Alberta. Forget Me Not Vintage is clear out this Sunday. $5 starts and $3 start bid fundraising show next Sunday. How exciting. There's High Q Gems. Thrifting with ADHD, Sweet Prairie. Leah must be on her laptop. There's actually a secret. It's colon and then heart and then colon. Jyrie's Closet has This Old House show tonight at 9 p.m. Yay! Shannon 604 says my show is Soup Chick is scheduled for next week. I assume that's what that meant. That's exciting, Shannon. Shop with Danny. I have a women's activewear show today, 11:15 a.m. Pacific time to 15 p.m. Eastern time. $5 starts. I love it. Vintage buyback, Kelly Irish. Says my Easter show is tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Lots of bunnies, and I'm 97 items away from 1,000. Congratulations, that's awesome. Who is it that likes Living the Dream? And I said Groovy, I think, like Easter stuff. Fashion Friday every Friday with Melody, curated by Tabella, is Tuesday 7 p.m. Eastern. Bags, etc. Coach. Ooh, that's awesome. High Q Gems is on tonight at 8:08 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Polka Dot Thrift Shop. Thanks for coming in. And where are you in the U.S.? Everyone might as well say where they're from. Vintage says back tonight with more jewelry due to popular demand. Always popular demand for jewelry. Mini show may be rescheduled. I'm going to be on this afternoon doing the egg game part 2. So if you want to come hang out with me, Peacock Jewelry needs inactive wear. Same. Love List Repeat says I have a women's clothing show at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time today. Awesome. D Archivist has the ultimate Whatnot challenge of consistency every D. Day number 647 is today at 11:23 p.m. Pacific time, and Tuesdays at 9:23 a.m. Pacific time is Coffee Talk and Tech Chat. You don't want to miss that. D does an amazing, amazing show. Tulsa, Oklahoma. I love it. Hey, Caroline's resale. Sweet Prairie's in Hannah, Alberta. Montreal is Melody Cone. Roxy's Treasures is in Florida. Shanna says Soup Chick is based in Vancouver. What is a game? I'm not sure. Oh, the egg game. The egg game is basically where there are discount codes They used to be hidden in literal eggs, but they're not anymore. They're discount codes. So it's either, it can be a $2 start, it can be 50% off, it could be 10% off, it can even be a giveaway, or I do a coupon code. So I show the item, I say what the price is, then we spin the wheel and see what the discount is, and that's the discount you get. Yeah, you're coming to Austin. I'm so excited. You got your ticket, right? Because they're sold out. I went on there to check, and they're sold out for Austin Seller Summit, which is really exciting. The ballroom has a max capacity of 600. Yes, I went and checked. So I went and looked. So there could be 600 of us there. Roxy's Treasures does live sourcing at the flea market. Ooh, which flea market? Do you go to oh god, Oldsmar? Is Oldsmar still around? Thrifting with ADHD says, I'm from Napanee, Ontario. I have some shows booked. Most of them will be random pop-ups, vintage variety. Awesome. HJC BC show in just over an hour, and another tomorrow. Michael Kors bags plus others and accessories. Oh, you were in the whatnot category. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad, Polka Dot. Rachel is Thrifty is in Ontario. Roxy's Treasures has a show on the 16th at 7. Forget Me Not Vintage is in Victoria, BC. Vintiquity is on Vancouver Island. Jude's Closet is going to do a pop-up later today. Lots of deals and steals. The Archivist is in California. Deals on Styles says I Spy Luxury is live tonight. $1 starts. Authentic vintage designer bags, wallets, and jewelry. 7 p.m. Eastern and in Ontario. I love it. Buyer from BC is Pickles. Auntie Barbie is in Minnesota. Minnesota. I love Minnesota. Has everything calmed down, or is it still the same? I think it's still the same, isn't it? I'm sorry. HJC has a $65 giveaway. Or is that my giveaway that I did? Shop with Danny, thank you for the tip. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. Caroline's resale is from San Marcos, Texas. I love it. Yes, Thrifting with ADHD would have been there, but next time. I'm sure they're going to do this annually from now on. Created by Bella. I don't know if they're going to provide it virtual. They'll probably do some clips, some video clips on their YouTube channel is what I'm guessing. Beck says, I'm considering planning a walk and talk community show so internationals can see a bit of Australia while we chat about certain topics. That's a great idea. I mean, Draz does a chat show while she's on the treadmill every morning. So you can do whatever you want. That's the awesome thing about Whatnot. High Q Gems is in Toronto. Oh, yes. The $65 giveaway was in my egg show. Yeah, I did have a $65 giveaway because that's how the egg opened on me. Which is awesome. I love it. Love List Repeat is in Nanaimo, BC. Oh gosh, I love Nanaimo. You have Todd Naff in there, so I love it even more. Stephanie Gal says, I'm in Saskatchewan. I have a baby and kids show at 3 Saskatchewan time. I can't remember what time that is right now. I know Saskatchewan has a different schedule, right? Because of daylight savings. And then BC is going to be different too, because they've decided that this will be the last time that they spring forward. So this, just a reminder, this weekend we are springing forward. Yeah, it's exhausting. Beck says, is the summit organized by Whatnot that's happening in Texas? Yes, it is. I don't know if they're going to be doing them in all countries. I think they're starting with the United States because it's the biggest. I've been talking with the community team about doing a meetup because they're doing meetups. So I think the next step back would be meetups in Australia and then maybe a seller summit in the future. The seller summit was sold out on Tuesday. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I'm really glad for them. I'm really glad for the team that happened. Auntie Barbie says, I'm about 30 miles outside of Minneapolis and I'm not seeing anything that's being reported. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad you haven't seen any of it because it sounds no good. Caroline's resale says, I'm streaming live from Bussey's Flea Market today at 1 p.m. Central Time. There are a lot of Vancouver Island peeps on here, aren't there? In Shirts, Texas. Shirts, Texas. That's a great name. I got a shirt in Shirts. Yes, last time change for you BC folks. You guys are lucky. Melody is going to be doing a jewelry show tonight and maybe ephemera. I'm trying to catch up. Do, 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 do. I think more were sold. Yeah, I think so. There had to have been more than that. The ballroom has a capacity of 600, so it's just the breakout rooms. The challenge is the breakout rooms, because like they're going to have some way that you have to sign up for the breakout rooms, which is why we have to check in early. I have to check in early. Okay. Yeah, time change does kill. Okay, let's read into somebody. Thank you guys for hanging out. All of this is available later. You'll be able to stamp pickers. What's up? The summit is sold out now, stamp pickers. So, it's done. No ticket. We're gonna raid somebody, and thank you guys all for hanging out. This is available. The whole thing is available. If you missed any of it or all of it, it is available on YouTube, Facebook, and on my Twitch. Let's see who we've got. Who haven't I rated in a while? Oh, I feel like I've rated them. I haven't. That's US. Solus. Solus is alone right now. We're gonna go to Solus. Solus is alone right now. We're gonna go hang out. Yo, you forgot to do. Well, that's all right. That's more important. All right. I love you guys so much. Have an awesome day. We're going to, Solus is all alone. So let's show her some love. And make sure you tell her to just sell. Okay. I love you guys so much. Have an awesome day. I will see you this afternoon, maybe. Otherwise, I'll be back on Tuesday.